Dr. Pillai's teachings, there is a time and a place for everything. So why is that so? If we are thinking about our karma and how we want to change it and how we want to shift our destiny, then we have to know when to do it. When is that perfect time? So today we are going to be sharing about how to connect with the genes of our souls. So soul genetics is the topic, and soul genetics is something that is going to fix our karma. So what is our karma? Our karmas are our thoughts coming from past lives, coming from the influence of planets, coming from our ancestors. So if we could fix the past lives, if we could fix the planets, if we could fix the ancestors, what would our life look like? We would go from bad luck, bad money karma, bad relationship karma, bad health karma, bad family karma, bad marriage karma, bad job karma, career, business, and so on. Even our spiritual path is up and down and inside and outside. And here we are on a spiritual path and we can't figure it out. So if we could figure out how to fix all that, what would our life look like? Fabulous relationships, perfect job, health, career. We would go to high heights with our spiritual practices. We would go on pilgrimages versus vacations and partying and getting burnt in the sun. So it's a great time to come together and find out what this time is all about, to honor our ancestors. So to change our karma, we're going to look into how we can propitiate or honor our ancestors, because we need their blessings. And why our ancestors? Because they share our genes. So even though we may think, oh, well, our ancestors are dead, they're no longer here in the physical body. So how can they be impacting us? We share their genes. Just take a look at your nose. Whose nose is that? Is it your grandmother's nose? Is it your grandfather's nose? Is it your mother's, your father's, your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather? So if they have passed, those people are called your ancestors. They're in the spiritual realm, so they're not in the physical body anymore. So if your parents are still alive, or your grandparents are still alive, or even your great-grandparents are still alive, they are not considered your ancestors. They're still alive. So our ancestors pass on behavioral traits as well as physical traits. So we can think, oh, I'm never going to be like my mother. I'm never going to be like my father. I'm never going to be like my grandparents who struggled and they just had come out of the war and they were just penny pinching. And then they had nothing. They just worked hard and they thought that money was evil and so on. And guess what? We're just like them. We have poverty consciousness, scarcity consciousness. We never have enough. We never know what we want to do with our lives. We are purposeless sometimes. We're going along, all of a sudden we lose our job, or we get a divorce, or someone dies in the family, causes upset. So crisis in life happens, and we call that bad luck. It could be something that just happens, or it can be that there is something that we also have inherited, and that is beyond the physical, beyond the behavioral traits or patterns. It can be that we have inherited the spiritual energies that are following us. So they can be like curses. So people come and they say, Dr. Pillai, how do I get out of my bad luck? I just have bad luck all the time. I'll start something and then out of nowhere, it'll just go sideways, or I'll fail. I failed time and again. I have chronic financial problems. I have chronic relationship problems. I don't even have a relationship. Or I have a relationship, I get married, and then I get divorced, and then I do it again and again and again. What is that all about? So it can be coming from your past lives. It can be coming from planetary influences that are pinging us to do the same thing over and over again. It can and does come from the ancestors, because we can pray to the gods. Hey, please help me to come out of my bad karmas. Or we can pray to the planets. Hey, be my friend. So whenever you are transiting the different signs or the different houses in my astrological chart, which is our blueprint of how to navigate the earth plane, we can also find out how we can come out of the problems with our ancestors. So how do we do it? We honor them during this 2-week period. And this 2-week period is called Mahalaya Paksha. So Mahalaya Maha means great, and Laya means the time of the ancestors. They're all coming to the earth plane. So this is a great time to honor the ancestors. We need to get their blessings. So they're ready to give us gifts. So it's kind of like we're going to be behind a window. So they're on one side of the window or on one side of the glass, and we're on the other side of the glass. We have to make that glass disappear so that we can receive the blessings. How do we receive blessings? We have to give them something. It always is a mutual exchange. So the ancestors need us to give them what they need wherever they are. So some ancestors are hanging upside down, as Dr. Pillai shares. When the soul leaves, if it has left before the life has ended, so they just lived for a certain period of time, and then they came back, or they found out that, oh my God, I'm out of the body and I shouldn't be out of the body because I didn't age and I didn't die naturally. Maybe it was an accident, or they died of a critical disease, cancer, or they got taken out by a bullet, being in the wrong place at the right time. So where that bullet hit them, and it was intentional or could have been intentional. Or it could be a child that never was born, so from an abortion or from a miscarriage. So the souls of our ancestors are hanging upside down, or they're lost, or they're just not really sure. Do I go back to the earth plane? Where do I go now? So it's so important for us to help them to come out of that stuck purgatory state. It's not just something that's written in the scriptures, it's for real. Now, there are some ancestors who they lived a licentious life, let's say, where they just wine, women, and song all the whole life long. And so they upset their family members, or they upset people in their lives, and so on, and they didn't care. They just went about it, and then they died. So off they go to realms where they can be purified. And those realms, as the scriptures say, are quite hellish. So they are hanging out in hell. And why should we care about that? Because again, they are locked into our genes. We have a spiritual destiny with them as well. So if we want to change our spiritual destiny, we need to honor the ancestors first and foremost, before the planets, before the gods. Now, most of us have been honoring the gods. We get on a spiritual path and we pray to Christ. We pray to Muhammad, we pray to Shiva, Ganesha, we pray to whoever, we pray to Mother Nature. And we just need to come out of our hardships. Please, please, please help me. And they do help us somewhat. But then there comes a time where we're like scratching our heads. Why isn't this happening faster? I'm dedicating all my hours, all my extra hours that I have in the day, after my work, after taking care of the kids, cooking dinner, doing the laundry, running around, doing whatever I need to do to navigate this earth plane, to navigate this life, and day after day goes by, week after week goes by, month after month, year after year, decade after decade after decade after decade. And we're coming to an end, and it's just like, whoa, there's not much time left. What is going on with this spiritual path? So this spiritual path that you're on, or maybe you're just being invited, we want to honor our ancestors by doing a special feeding for them. So just like we need money, we need food, we need to go to Starbucks, we need to go on our vacations, we need to do our spiritual practices, we need to pay for our kids' weddings. You know, we need to do so many things. And they do too. They're hungry. As Dr. Pillai shared, they are suffering, for one. They're in pain. They can't have anything to drink. They can't have anything to eat in those realms. So we have to give them something that they can eat and drink. And we'll just talk about that. So this is a jar full of rice flour or rice powder, and then it is got some black specks in it, and those are black sesame seeds. So that's what they love. So we can, and I have this big jar because I use it every day. And we'll talk about how and what and where and why. Let's start with what is it? So what it is here we have some different items. So the main item that we need to use is the black sesame seeds. So the black sesame seeds are what our ancestors need to eat. They need it for money. They need to travel with it. So this is the secrets of the siddhas, the lineage that Dr. Pillai hails from. And they have passed this on through the generations. Just like every tradition, every culture has some way of honoring the souls during funeral rites or during time periods throughout the year based on your religion or your cultural belief system and their celebrations where they're honoring the ancestors. So everyone does it. But we can do this easily at home if we just have the black sesame seeds. So what you would do is you would just take the black sesame seeds. If you don't have black sesame seeds, the gray or sorry, the beige ones or the white ones will do. However, you can get them online, black sesame seeds online. You can go to your grocery store in the international section, or you can go to a puja store, an Indian market, and they will have it. So it's also called teal. And so you can ask for teal or sesame, black sesame seeds. So you just take a small amount. That's it. Just a coin size amount in your hand. And then you can even take a coin, which I have here. And you can use any denomination. It can be a nickel, a dime, a penny. It can be anything. It can be a gold coin. So it doesn't matter what it is. So you can take it and put it on top of the black sesame seeds. And then simply you can just, so this is your right hand, and then you can I'm just gonna get this bowl set up here. You can take some fresh water, and how you want to make sure that it's fresh is get some spring water and just open it. Don't take a drink out of it. Or you can use tap water. You can even use shower water. We'll get to that. So this is how you do it. You just put it in your right hand, and I'm going to hold it over this dish. And now what you're going to do quickly to get into a different mindset is we're just going to do a quick prayer to our internal self. All of our chakras are going to get activated. We're going to call on Lord Ganesha, who moves the energy through the chakras, starting at the base of the spine. That will move up to the third eye. We'll ask Dr. Pillai to come in and bless us, and then we will activate the chakra system, and we will do our prayer. So it's going to be about a minute. So if you can, if you're in a place now where you can just get comfortable And then you can have your black sesame seeds if you do have them. If you don't, you can do it later on. So you can just be in a prayer mode. So closing your eyes and putting your attention internally. And we're going to focus on the base of the spine. And we're going to call on Lord Ganesha to remove the obstacles, for the Kundalini energy to rise up through the chakras and come up to the third eye. So we're in a higher state. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Base of the spine. Heart center, middle of the chest. Ooh. Throat, clear the throat. Ma. Third eye. Base of the spine. Na. Navel. Ma. Heart. She. Throat and mouth. Wa. The two eyes and the brain. Ya. Now imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you, sending two rays of light into your eyes and into your third eye, coming from his eyes and his third eye. Lock on. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Please empower me to honor my ancestors. So you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them to watch. This is a prayer to 6 generations of my ancestors on my mother's side of the family and 6 generations of ancestors on my father's side of the family. Please accept this offering. Be at peace, go to high realms, have whatever it is that you need. And on your way there, you can consider blessing everyone here on the earth plane with peace, prosperity, enlightenment, and also help me with my health. And then you take the rest of the water and pour it over the coin. And then you can take the coin out and reuse it. This can be discarded either down the drain, but have a drain catcher. So it can also be discarded outside.